All right, everybody, welcome to the broadcast today. We're on number 51. So welcome. If you're new here, if you saw the video from a friend and you're here for the first time, every Friday is a time for us to do a quick lesson together, either on some concept, philosophy, training principles, training exercises, and workouts every Friday. Friday was always my time with my dad, and we do a weekly training every Friday, and that was my moment, my time with him, and to listen and to, just like the old wise master and his loyal student, I would just sit and listen and take in the day's lesson. And if I had questions or needed to expand on some concept, well, that was my time to be there privately alone with the master and just listen to the lesson. So I'm continuing this type of tradition every Friday morning. We'd always train at 9 a.m. every week, and it's something that I'm continuing, and I hope that you enjoy these lessons. These lessons are for you and your development and your growth. So we're on number 51. So there's 51 lessons. If this is your number one lesson, then please go back all the way to lesson number 1 and then go through each step, because I might reference some lesson from the past in a future lesson, and it helps to understand what I'm talking about. So if you haven't done that, please do so. And as always, if you like the video, please like it. Show me with a like or a heart, and share the video if you know somebody who might benefit from hearing this information. Okay, last week and the week before, we talked a lot about how to fix stuff on our bodies. Most people have issues with pain, and nobody wants to live in pain, and myself included. I have a high threshold for pain, but to have constant, chronic, nagging pain, it's not cool. So we need to address it and treat it or improve a body part before we injure it. We talked about preventative work and building an armor around our body. So you have to be thinking about that. How can I prevent an injury? And how can I get as strong as I can to make sure that I have no injuries and I live pain-free for the rest of my life? So today's subject is what do you do pre-workout? Like when you decide to go train, what do you do before training? Can you let me know in the comments section, what do you do pre-workout? When you're just about to start your class, if you're in martial arts, or if you're doing any type of sport, or going to the gym or training, or if you're training in your home gym, what do you do pre-workout? Like, I'd like to know, because that's what I want to talk about today. So I can't do two things at the same time. Put it in the comments. I'll answer and see what you wrote in the comment section after the broadcast. So I want you to think about always learning, always growing. There's always stay open to new ideas and to always try to improve what you do. Okay, so what do I do? Now, one thing that I've started doing is taking care of the fascia. Now, what is fascia? Fascia is like a fibrous layer of connective tissue that surrounds all your muscles. And that fascia, if it's not taken care of, might become cross-linked, or if you heard like a bound or a knot in your muscles. And if they're cross-linked and bound to muscle, and it's not mobile, there's no mobility in the fascia, it can limit a range of movement, and it can also cause pain. So what I do, I have it right here, They call it the poor man's massage. It's a self massage. It's a self myofascial massage, and you use none other than a roller. You might not have seen this roller before. It looks very painful and very extreme. It's called a rumble roller, and this is what I want to talk about today, how to use this. This is what I do pre-workout. Now you can do this, you should do this as a warm-up. This is your warm-up. Before stretching, before doing any type of active mobility training, getting a range of movement in your shoulders and your hips, before stretching, like do the roller first, and then do the stretch and the warm-up, and then do your workout, the martial arts, the striking, the kicking, the throwing, the grappling, and then you can end post-workout with the roller. But if you had a choice of choosing one or the other, then you should do the roller before the workout. Amazing results. For me, like I think of the fascia as this type of web of it's connecting my brain right to my muscles, my skin. When I do the roller, I feel activated. I feel like it's almost like pressing on buttons on throughout my body. So if you can get one, you can get the regular one that's flat, not ribbed like this one. But if you can get a rumble roller for extreme, then do so. We talked about pain before, and remember I talked about standing on rocks and how all of us, because we sit a lot, our calf muscles, they tend to shorten because we're always sitting down, and we need to release the tension in the calves. So by standing on the rocks, it helps release the calf muscle. So this is the same idea, and I'll run through a couple of variations, but you can figure it out like by yourself. It's not rocket science, but you should start with the calves first and then release the calf muscle, because we're sitting down and the calf muscles are getting shortened a little bit. It can cause pain. It can cause lack of range of movement in the ankle, so we can't do squats properly. We can't do the alternating right to left squat that we talked about, using that squat movement to increase range of, I want you to see me here, this squat from one side. Doing all these things require ankle mobility, ankle flexibility. So with the roller, simply sit with your ankles on and proceed to roll front and back. It doesn't have to be long. You can do 2 sessions of 1 minute or 2 minutes, and then you take a little break, and then you go, like you get back to it. When you feel pain, then you should stop and keep rolling on the pain point. And then once you feel there's a release, because this is what it's doing, it's releasing stress, it's releasing pressure, it's allowing the fascia to move and disconnect from the muscles and skin. Roll until you feel the release. Once you feel it, then move on to the next exercise. The next part that you should be working on are the quads. Because we're sitting again all the time, if my quads aren't stretched, shortens the quad, pulls on my lower back, can cause lower back pain. So everything in your body is interconnected, and you already know that, right? So the next one is on your quads. So proceed to either on your elbows, roll back and forth, and dig into spots that you feel that you're weak in, that you have have pain in. with mics all over the place. Sorry about that. Next is the ITB, iliotibial band. This ligament that goes down the outer thigh and across the knee for running. So this is a great one, so be careful with this. If you've ever been kicked in the legs, then you know exactly the spot I'm talking about. So you lie on one side, put one foot over, and use this leg to support yourself and slowly grind down the thigh all the way up to your knee. And we all roll differently. You find the right spot, dig into. What I like about the rumble roller is because it's ribbed this way, I can really go and attack weakness and pain. And at first it will be painful, and you might feel stronger, tougher on the right side if you're right-handed, which is totally normal. So it really gives you instant feedback of where you're weak. So if your left side is weaker, then you'll feel it right away. But the more you do it, the tougher and stronger you become. So the outer thigh. Next problem area is the upper back. Because we press or we grab and throw, we lift something heavy or a deadlift or any type of exercise with your back, then obviously we need to work on that as well. So I'll just quickly go through them. So you lie and roll and do the movement nice and slow. And pay attention to what you feel. If you feel nothing, you're good. Go to the next exercise. But I try to focus on every body part. And I spend a couple of seconds on each body part. And you can do it for a minute. You can do it for 5 minutes. Those are basic exercises. Again, all my lessons are not full-blown courses. I should do like full-blown courses on each piece of equipment, but that's not my goal. I show you an idea. It's up to you to take it and run with it. So these are some of the exercises. Like there's way more things that you can do with the roller. After you've done this, then you can go out and do anything. You feel like your machine is finely tuned. Like you just brought your car to the garage and like you had a 150-point inspection done on your car. Everything's working perfectly. It sounds right. I feel a vibration. I feel a tingling feeling all over my body. I feel really activated and ready to do everything. As if my body in some parts was sleeping, I've awakened every part of my body. And if I'm doing a sport, then there's less risk of injury if my machine is firing on all cylinders. I hope this makes sense to you, and I really hope that you'll take the advice and get one. Results are very quick and very impressive to prepare the body for workout and exercise. I hope you like this lesson, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section. I answer right away, or if it's not today, it'll be tonight. But this is your lesson for today. Again, a bit more physical, and I want to continue working on building your armor that you are pain-free, injury-free. And I'll talk about other body parts next week. So as you know, we talked about the neck, right? The neck pain. We talked about shoulder pain. And don't worry, I will keep going down the list. I told you four key body parts need to be strengthened even more than others. As always, walk the path of self-mastery. I'm Sibak Martin Patenaude, and I'll see you next week.